where the chapter is entitled as Purusha Sukta Confirmed, where Shukadeva Goswami is explaining about the creation aspect and the differences between material universe. How different elements are created. So, and how everything is depending on Supreme Lord. So that is the theme. Like everything in this world, all the material things that we are seeing, everything is come from Him and everything is depending upon Him. So in that way, the theme is going on. So in that, he was mentioning that I have appeared from the lotus navel of the Lord. So at that time, I wanted to perform sacrifice. But even to perform sacrifice, I did not find any other ingredients other than the Lord's limbs. So I collected all my ingredients from the Lord's limbs. So even the sacrificial posts, kushagras, animals, place, time, utensils. So everything has come from the Lord. So that means Lord is even the material cause of the universe. So from Him only the matter being non-different from Him. So He is from Him only everything is coming. So that is the point He is explaining here. So I assembled the prayers, what to offer in ingredient. By all these things, I performed sacrifice to the Lord, and even other personalities like Prajapatis, Manu, sages, they also worship the Lord using the same process. So therefore, even the material cause is also coming from Him. And this universe is all this universe is situated in Narayana. So by nature, the Lord is beyond Prakriti, but for maintenance, creation, and destruction, He uses all His gunas by accepting as Maya, and through the form of Devatas, He creates everyone. So therefore, you asked what is the Adhishtan, what is the background of this universe? So everything is situated in the Lord's purpose. And by His empowerment, so on whom Brahma and Shiva depends, that is also He is mentioning that only by His empowerment, I as Brahma create and Shiva destroys and He maintains. So He is the one who is shelter, like who is the everyone is depending upon. On what this universe is depending upon? So the universe is depending upon the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So that is also he answered here. So and he answered in this way, like all the questions that are answered by asked by Narada Muni, that actually for all things, everything in this world is depending upon the Lord. So after telling all these things, then he tells that whatever I am telling you, I have answered all these questions. You should not think that there is anything which is separate from the Lord. So everything in this world, either material or spiritual, everything has come from the Lord. Everything is His energies. So therefore, nothing is separate from the Lord. So therefore, you should know that my words are always true. So then you should believe my words. Why? Because I always hold the lotus feet of the Lord very dear to my heart. न भारती मेघं विशोपलक्षतु न वै क्वचिन्मे मनसो मुषागतु न मे ऋषिकानि पतन्त सत्पदे यन्मे विदौक्यन्तवदाहृतोऽपि न Bharati means my words. My words, O Anga, O Narada, they will never go into wrong. Means they will never speak lie or they will never speak wrong. They will never become false. And Navai Kvachin me Manaso Nishagati. My mind will never go into false path. Name Rishikani Patandi Asatpade. My senses will also never go into wrong path. Because Yanme Rudi Outkantyavata. Because in my heart, I with very with great zeal, I hold the Lord very dear to my heart. So that's why so you should believe me whatever I am saying. So that means some people may say that this whole world is illusory, but I am saying that this whole world is real. So you should believe that all these words that I am saying. This way he is revealing, he is ascertaining himself that he is speaking truth. And even such a personality, uh, generally I am fully engaged in filled with tapasya, and I am a master worshipped by so many prajapatis and fixed in yoga. So I have so many good qualities, but still I cannot understand the Supreme Lord. So because I was created by Him, and not to speak of like I therefore since I cannot know his qualities, I cannot fully understand him. I simply offer my obeisances to him. So I offer respects to the Lord, who by his lotus feet he destroys the material existence of his devotees. He gives prema, and what to speak of me, even the Lord also cannot know his glories. So that means his extent of Yogamaya is such that the like his glories keeps on increasing. So in that way, the how does he doesn't omniscient Lord, how does he not know his own limits? Because he doesn't have any limits. So because space, it does not know its own end. Similarly, Lord doesn't know his own limits. So therefore, we are all personalities. Like I, Narada, you, Shiva, and other personalities. We do not know the spiritual world. We may be knowing some part of material world. We do not know the spiritual world, and we generally bewildered by his Maya, and we speak about this material world only, and that too according to our limited knowledge. So therefore, our knowledge is very limited. So since we don't know completely the Lord, should we stop glorifying him? No, he says that still I glorify, I offer my respects to the Supreme Lord, because uh, because whatever abilities we have, we can still glorify to that extent. So we glorify whenever he takes various avatars. This way, we still glorify till the extent we can glorify. And he also summarizes that first incarnation, the Mahavishnu, Karnadaksha Vishnu, he describes about him that he creates, maintains, and destroys the universe by himself in every like in every Mahakalpa, that means in every creation, and he is completely situated in Shuddha Sattva platform. He is beyond uh, measurement, subject, object, and instrument. He is distinguished from all else, and everywhere he is like his compassion is existing. So in this way, he has so many wonderful qualities, Vishnu. And sometimes sages how to understand him. That the people who are able to control their senses and mind, body, they sometimes can understand to certain extent. So, but if they say like persons who are with false logic, with their own mental speculation, if they want to understand, they cannot be understood. So in this way, this Karanadakshay Vishnu, He, he is expanded himself from Mahavishnu. He himself is, he has all the different ingredients are coming from him. His ingredients are like time, swabhava, and the cause and effect, Mahatattva, all the 24 elements. The jivas are also coming from him. So everything is related to the Lord. So basically, if you want to understand philosophy of Achintya Bhedava Tattva, it is like Lord is there and he has his energies. His energies are in three categories. One is material energy, another is spiritual energy, another is marginal energy. So material energy creates pradhana through which 24 elements will come. Marginal energy is the living energy. And spiritual energy is acting in spiritual world. So, like because energies and energetic, they are said to be non-different. So in that sense, Lord is non-different from his energies. So therefore, he is non-different from this universe and living beings. In this way, one can understand the philosophy. So, and then he says that all the personalities in this world, like Shiva, Prajapati, Daksha, Narada, everyone, so they are all empowered with the Lord's Shaktis, but they are all different from Swarupa of the Lord. So all the material things, they are all Lord's, not Swarupa. Swarupa means Lord's original form. Is like he has many different forms, but they are all made from his own internal energy. So those are called Swarupa. But all the other things like other personalities in this world that we see, like all Gandharva, Vidyadhara, Narada, Yogi, Shiva, and these things, they are all his potencies, but not complete form. None of them are his Swarupa. So, this way, Brahmaji has explained about Lord's relationship with this world, how Lord is connected with this world, how he is, like Purusha Avataras, he is creating this world. Then he says that now I will tell about the Leela Avatars. So Purusha Avatara generally deals with Maya Shakti of the Lord, but Leela Avataras, they will deal with the internal energy of the Leela Avataras are the incarnations of the Lord. So he starts narrating about the different incarnations of the Lord. So this chapter lists the various incarnations of the Lord. So all these incarnations are briefly mentioned again here. So first Lord took the form of Varahadev. So later, after mentioning all these things, it's mentioned that just by hearing Leelavataras, one will attain lot of bhakti. So one activity of each of these incarnation is mentioned. So Lord has appeared as Varahadev. So in Varahadev, the main activity is that he killed Hiranyaksha and he lifted the earth, so which is sunken in the bottom. So that is main activity of Varahadev. Next, he appeared as Suyajna, who is born to Akuti and Ruchi, and he protected the, like he acted as a Indra when Swayambhu Manu was ruling. He acted like Hari, so he gave protection to all the world. Then he appeared as Kapila Muni, who gave knowledge of Sankhya to Devahuti and other personalities. Like other personalities also he gave. So in this way, he removed the contamination in this world, which is like mud of association with material modes. He gave knowledge. Then he appeared as a Dattatreya, son of Atri and Anasuya. So Dattatreya, he preached to Yadu and Aiheya. So, and he attained the perfection for yoga for enjoyment and liberation. So these are the activities of Dattatreya. In 11th canto, there is one section called 24 Gurus. So that was spoken by Dattatreya. Then four Kumaras he has appeared. The four Kumaras represents the tapasya of the tapasya of the Lord. So they austerity personified. So they are completely uh, absorbed in tapasya and explain knowledge of the soul to many people. This way they performed activity. Then they appeared as Naranarayan Rishis to Murti and Dharma. And even Cupid came to broke them, but Cupid could not break their vow. So this way, Naranarayan Rishi they performed the tapasya. And then he appeared as like Naranarayan Rishi is mentioned that when Cupid came, uh, like he was not able to disturb the Lord's pure mind. So, but even anger also did not come. So sometimes people may uh, conquer lust, but they may succumb to anger. So, but the Lord is pure mind, so anger will never enter into his mind. So, what to speak of lust? So, then this way, the Naranarayan Rishi is mentioned. And there is an incarnation called Krishnigarbha, where he awarded benediction to Dhruva Maharaj. So that is Krishnigarbha. And there is an incarnation of Prutu. So some of these are some of these are called as Shakti-avesh Avatara. Shakti-avesh Avatara means a living entity is empowered with the Shakti of the Lord. So those are called as Shakti-avesh. So some of these incarnations are Shakti-avesh. Like Prutu is Shakti-avesh. Four Kumaras are Shakti-avesh Avatara. So Prutu Maharaj, his activity is that he milked the earth for obtaining food and other items. Story will come. So all this personality, their story will come in some of the cantos. Rishabhadev, he has appeared from the King Navi as a son of King Navi, and he completely controlled his senses and practiced the path of Vairagya. So he performed Jada Yoga, and he said his renunciation was practiced by other sages also. These activities are described in fifth canto. And then Lord has also appeared as Hayagriva, that as a horse head. And from his nostrils, Vedas have appeared. So in this way, Hayagriva is like he gives knowledge. Then Matsya incarnation, fish incarnation, he, he acted as a shelter for earth and other living beings. And he played in the Manvantara, at the end of Manvantara, Vaivaswata Manu, he played in the flood water at the time of destruction and protected the Vedas. So this is the activity of Matsya Avatar. Then Kurma Avatar has come to held up the Mandara mountain. When Devatas and Danavas, they are churning the ocean. So at that time, to support Mandara mountain, Kurma Avatar has come and lifted that Mandara mountain. So while that great Mandara mountain was turning on the back of his back, he felt like his itching sensation was relieved by the mountain. That was mentioned. And then Narasimhadev, very famous, like he came to kill Hiranyakashipu and he fought with him. Then there is Hari incarnation who protected Gajendra. So the form of the Lord which protected Gajendra is called Hari. So he is when Gajendra was in trouble, he simply offered lotus to the Lord and offered that I offer my respective obeisances to the Supreme Lord, famous for purifying. This way he protected Gajendra by chopping off the head of crocodile with his chakra. This is described in 8th canto. Then Vamanadev, as the son of Aditi, he has appeared, Aditi and Kashyap Muni, and he begged the land from Bali and took, because Bali was simply following Dharma, so therefore it is not possible to take the kingdom from him. So therefore he begged the kingdom from him, and he extended himself as Trivikram and covered the whole universe. So Bali Maharaj is glorified that because he promised Vamanadev, he did not retrieve his promise, he fulfilled his promise with his body. Then Hamsa who gave uh, like spoke about Bhakti Yoga to Brahmaji, and also knowledge about himself and knowledge which removes ignorance in Jiva. So all this knowledge he spoke. Hamsa is also famous for speaking knowledge. In 11th canto, one chapter of his knowledge will come, how he speaks. Then he appeared as Dhanvantari. So, like, Dhanvantari in the Samudra Manthan Leela, in order to give nectar, he appeared as Dhanvantari, and he is the Lord of Ayurveda. Then, after Dhanvantari, he mentions about Parashurama. He is also Shaktaveshata. So Parshuram, his activities, because Kshatriyas, they have become violent towards Brahmanas. So because he has traveled around the world and destroyed Kshatriyas who are acting against Brahmanas, who had strayed away from the path of the Vedas. Then he appeared as Lord Ram, another Dashrath. So, and he killed Ravana. So, Ram's activities are mentioned as that even the ocean, when Ram became angry, the ocean trembled in fear. All the inhabitants, they were all churned, and immediately he came and gave a path to Lord Ram. Ram went to Ravana and broke his arrogance and simply killed him with his bow. So in this way, Lord Ram's activities are mentioned. So then Krishna's activities are mentioned with little more past tense. So he remembers more past tense of Krishna. So Krishna, he has appeared in this world to relieve the earth because earth is facing a lot of troubles with so many demons they are traveling. So to remove their pain, he has appeared and performed so many wonderful, sweet pastimes which hide his powers. Although he is supreme powerful, because of his wonderful, sweet pastimes, they are all very enchanting. He performed them. And he remembered how simply as a child he killed Putana, just about the infant, and he simply turned his leg above and the whole cart was collapsed. He killed Shaktasur, and he simply crawled between two trees. Those two trees were delivered, Malakuvera and Arjuna, Rikuvera and Manigeva, Arjuna trees. So these are wonderful activities that no other form of the Lord can exhibit. He gave life, when all the cowherd boys they drank poisonous water and they were died. Krishna gave life just by his merciful glance, and he drove away this poisonous snake Kaliya, which has contaminated their mother, the river Yamuna. And at the same night, when a forest fire has appeared, he simply drank that forest fire. In this way, he risked all the inhabitants from their death. And Mother Yashoda tried to bind him by taking rope, but the rope was not sufficient, and she also saw whole universe in Krishna's mode, and this way he exhibited those wonderful pastimes. And he also delivered Nanda Maharaj from the ropes of Varun Dev. He also delivered the boys, cowherd boys from Yomasur, who kidnapped all the cowherd boys in a cave. And this way, he performed so many wonderful pastimes in Braja. And all the boys in the now, they are all used to always looking all day that when will Krishna will return. So all the Brajavasis who are staying back in Braja, full day they are waiting when will Krishna will return. And then this way they are uh, wonderful pastime they experience. Even outside Braja, also some of the pastimes he remembered that when like he also lifted Govardhan mountain for 7 days when Indra performed. He also performed Rasa dance and also killed Shankajuda. And, he also he played wonderful flute to attract all the Rajas damsels. He killed so many other demons in Madura while he was living in Madura and Dwaraka, like Pralamba, Denika, Baka, Keshi, Arishta, Kubalyapeda, Kamsa, Kalayavana, Digda. So like that in 10th canto, all these pastimes are elaborated. So all these things he is remembering. He either himself killed or he engaged his associates to kill all the demons. All those pastimes Brahmaji was remembering. And also, so in this way, he remembered the Krishna's activities. And he also remembered Vyasadeva activities that the when people they are into people they are in Kali Yuga, they are in difficult time because they don't know how to cross over this world. That time Vedas Vyasudeva has appeared and he divided the one branch of Veda, one tree of Vedas into several branches. So in this way, he listed down Vedas and he also appeared as Buddha and bewildered some other people who are who are he diverted the people entirely to some Upadharma. Upadharma means some something less than Dharma. Which is he kind of set aside the path of the Vedas because people are using Vedas to for wrong purposes. Therefore, he kind of set aside the Vedas. That way, Buddha has appeared. Then, in future, he will appear as Kalki also at the end of Kali Yuga. So, because at that time, no one is following Dharma. Everyone practically becomes Shudras. So that time the Lord will appear as Kalki and he punishes all the miscreants and again establishes Satyuga. So in this way he remembered all the various incarnations of the Lord. And these are all incarnations. We also remember that he also has many vibhutis of his Maya. So like Brahma, the Prajapatis, and Manu, Devatas, Kings, Shiva. So there are these vibhutis who expand in this material world to perform different activities. So there are these Shaktis. So therefore, it is a person may estimate the number of atoms in this earth or in this world, but there will be no estimation of the glories of Lord Vishnu. So, such are the wonderful activities. So therefore, it is not completely possible to explain all the Leela avatars of the Lord. So it is like because he has performed so many wonderful activities. Even even great personalities like sages like Kumaras and other your elder brothers like Rishis, they don't know the Lord's material energy. So they also don't know the power of the Lord, Maya, what to speak of other people. Even Ananta says, Ananta says is trying to glorify the Lord with his 1,000 rules from time immemorial, but still he could not find any end to the Lord's glories. There is no possibility of understanding the Lord. So how can understand Lord to some extent? Yesham Sayesha Bhagavan, Daye Ananta. When the Lord, like when if someone surrenders to the Lord without any motivation or with unpretentious surrender, then he will attain the mercy of the Lord. By his mercy, he will understand Krishna. So by that as a side product, we will cross our material ocean. In this way, this is the process. Only by Naiviyesha Gunami, Mama Maya Duratya, Mameva Ye Prapatyante Maya Metam Taratu. So my Maya, Krishna says in Gita that it is very difficult to overcome. Only by surrendering to me, people can understand my Maya. Otherwise, there is no chance of understanding the law that he mentions. And so there are some personalities in this world like Prahlad, Swayambhu, Brahma, and all others, Angabru, all these great devotees. They are all examples of persons who have surrendered to the Lord. So therefore, they know about the Lord to some extent. So this is how all the personalities they do. And like even if some people they are born in low birth, like Stri, Shudra, Una, Shabara, Apipapa Jiva. So all these people, they will be able to understand the Lord if they are learned about the Lord from the devotees. So no one is unqualified. Everyone, by learning about the Lord from the devotees, they can understand about the Lord. So if even animals can understand, how much more quickly can humans, when he heard from the Guru, he will understand. So therefore, no, like everyone, especially human beings, they can easily understand the Lord when they understand from the devotees. In this way, he mentions about who can understand and who cannot understand. And we surrendering, he can understand. Now, after mentioning that, he describes about different aspects of the Lord. So, Lord has three aspects: Brahman, Bhagavan, and Paramatma. So, Bhagavan aspect is like more inclusive. That means Bhagavan aspect includes Super Soul and Brahman aspects together. So, ultimate realization is the Bhagavan realization. And the process is also like Jnana Yogis, generally they aim to realize Brahman. And the Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, they realize Super Soul. And by Bhakti, they realize Bhagavan. So therefore, Bhagavan is shelter, is like he from him, Paramatma and Brahman, they are all situated. So similarly, Bhakti Yoga is the great process than Jnana and Yoga. By Bhakti Yoga, one can directly understand the Supreme Lord, his qualities. So, in this way, he distinguishes. So, Bhakti is even needed in other processes. Like Jnana and Yoga also require Bhakti to achieve their success. But by Bhakti doesn't need any support from Jnana Yoga. So by Bhakti alone, one can realize Bhagavan. So in that sense, Bhakti Yoga is superior to Jnana Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. So this way, we can understand the qualities of Bhagavan. So in this way, he describes about three aspects of the God. So after describing this, this is about Bhagavatam. This is how the Lord's glories are there. So he mentions that this work is called Bhagavatam, and this is all spoken to me by the Supreme Lord only, and these are all his Lord's vibhutis. So means just like the Lord has different vibhutis, the the Bhagavatam is also an avatar of the Lord. The Lord has come in this form of scripture. So therefore, O Narada, you should expand and distribute this knowledge everywhere. So you should make a sankalpa that I should speak the Bhagavatam in such a way that devotion to Lord Hari should arise, who is the blissful object of worship, so and who fulfill all the desires of the worshipper. So that people in Kali Yuga, they will be able to attract that devotion. We should speak in that way. And that way, he is giving instructions that to Narada Muni to propagate bhakti, explain it in such a way that bhakti should arouse in the people. So, like Lord's internal pastimes, they are all very sweet, but Lord's dealings with Maya, like creation and all these things, they are very technical, very difficult to understand. Should we discuss these topics or not? Then he says that Maya Varnata Amshya Ishwarasya Anumodata Shunvata Shraddhyanityam Maya Atmanamtati. One who try to understand the Lord's dealings with this material energy, how God is background of all this material world, how Lord's connection with Maya is there. By that understanding, the living entity, he will get freed from that Maya. So that person will not get bewildered by Maya. That means hearing about even the past tense of Purushavataras, like how he created this world, how 16 elements have come. So all these things also purify. So in this way, we will come out of Maya by discussing the activities of Maya in connection with the Lord. Lord is the basis of all this Maya. So by discussing that, one will not get, we will come out of that Maya. In this way, he recommends to discuss about these topics of creation, past tense also. So in this way, after hearing about the Lord's creation, Parikshit Maharaj, he was very much inspired. So he asked questions to Shukadeva Goswami to speak more about Harikatha. So he says that you I want to know, Narada Muni was instructed by Brahma that to speak about the qualities of the Lord. So these topics of the Lord, they are all very auspicious. So please speak this Krishna Katha so that I was like, so that I can give up my body by completely absorbing my mind to the Lord, and completely I will become devoid of material desires. So please, at the time of death, I should be able to remember the Lord. So this way, he is asking that, please explain how Narada, as instructed by Brahmaji, how he preached the glories of Bhagavatam and narrated Krishna Katha. And remember, please help me that I should remember Krishna at the time of death. So then Parikshit says that any person who constantly hearing Shranvataha Shraddhaya Nityam, with faith, if one is hearing about the glories, Gunatascha Sacheshtitam, is taking into his own heart about the glories of the Lord, then Kalena nati dirghena, with very short time, na ati dirghena. It's very ati dirghena. It's not long, it will not take long time. But Lord enters to the person's heart. If someone is faithfully hearing and chanting about the Lord's activities. So what will happen if Lord enters to the heart? Pravishta Karne Randrena. So when one enters into through ear holes, the Lord, Swanam Bhava Sarodham, he enters into heart and he churns different emotions in the devotees. And in and Dunodi Shamalam Krishna, he cleanses that water. So just like Shalilasya Yadachara, that means in the Sharad season means after rainy season, the water, rainy season water is very muddy. There is constantly moving. But in Sharad season, after rain has stopped, water settles down. So water gets purified. Similarly, when Krishna enters into someone's heart through their hearing process, he cleanses inside. So all the impurities in the heart will be clean. So when that person impurities in the heart are clean, then that person he will not leave the lotus feet of the Lord. Dhautatma Purusha Krishna, that person is completely cleansed of contamination. He Padamulam Namuchati, he does not give up the roots of the lotus feet of the Lord. And Mukta Sarva Pariklesha, so all his miseries will go away. Just like a merchant, when he travels all over the world, comes back to his home, he feels a lot of relief. So similarly, a person who is completely cleansed of his heart of all contamination, so he is completely at peace. Just like a merchant come back to his home, he never gives up his lotus feet because he has earned sufficient money, so he doesn't have desire to go. This way, he is completely taken shelter of the Lord's lotus when he is completely purified. So in this way, Parikshit Maharaj inspires Shukadeva Goswami and he asks several questions in this chapter where Shukadeva Goswami all these questions in subsequent sections of Bhagavad. So he asks questions about the Lord and Jiva. So how did spiritual Jiva, which is like spiritual in matter, but matter is matter, their elements. How does that relationship between Jiva and matter took place? Is it by chance or any specific cause is there? And you explained about Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Can you please narrate about the form of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu? How is it? Is it different from Jiva or is it same as Garbhodakshaya? Different from this Jiva or it is spiritual? Also, please explain about the Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, form of Hiranyagarbha, that Hiranyagarbha means Brahma. So, is it different from the Lord? So, please explain about them. Then he asks about several other questions like what is Kalpa, Vikalpa, Kala, how are karmic reactions taking place, how is this universe creation, like how different places and inhabitants are situated in this universe, what are the dimensions of the universe, and please explain about different activities of devotees, Varnashrama, please explain. How yogas are there, how much duration each yoga carries, what are the yoga dharma, and what are the activities of yoga avatars. So practically these questions are answered throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, this question is answered in 11th canto, activities of yoga avatars, yoga dharma, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities are indirectly predicted. This is answered in 11th canto. So, and also he asked about what is Sadharana Dharma, what is Vishesha Dharma, what is the Apad Dharma, in time of emergency, what is the Dharma to be followed. Explain about Sankhya, which is like the enumeration of all the elements which made up of this universe. How to worship all the Purusha avatars. Please explain Yoga Mishra Bhakti. and how a living entity attains subtle body, and what is how he will destroy the subtle body, and the different destinations of living entities. Please explain all the conclusions of Vedic scriptures. How the jivas undergoing in samsara can get deliverance, and what are favorable and unfavorable activities which are for bhakti. Please also explain the rules for Vedic smarta, kamya, and Dravidic karma. Different activities are there. How does jiva appear after pralaya? How pashandis were created? Please explain about Siddhas and how Lord performs Leela using his own yoga maya. In this way, practically are several questions which are answered throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. From now onwards, Sukadeva Goswami will start answering one by one till the end of Bhagavatam. So, Parikshit requests that please answer all these questions because I have surrendered to you, and you are specifically qualified because you are perfect. So no one other than you can explain all these things. You are authority just like Brahma. So you please explain all these actions which by which previous knowers understood. So and don't worry about my hunger and thirst. I am not at all fatigued because I am fasting, I'm not drinking. So, because I am drinking nectar of Krishna Kada from you. So, therefore, please tell all these Krishna's pastimes. In this way, Parikshit Maharaj inquired from Shukadeva Goswami. And Shukadeva Goswami, he was very much pleased with Parikshit questions, and he started narrating the scripture called as Bhagavatam. Again, is like which is speaking is like again called as Bhagavatam, and which is also called as essence of Vedas. Brahma Samhita is the essence of all the Vedas, and it was spoken by the Lord to Brahma in the first Kalpa. So originally Bhagavatam was narrated in four Chatushloki Bhagavatam, which was given by the Supreme Lord to Brahma in his first day when he is created. So those are called as Chatushloki Bhagavatam, which was expanded as full Bhagavatam later. So that will be discussed in the next chapter. Shukadeva Goswami, he wanted to explain all these topics to Parikshit Maharaj. So he starts narrating. So first he explains about the first question that he asked. That is how a living entity has attained a body which is material. Living entity is spiritual, but this body is matter. How a spiritual thing came in touch with the material thing. So this question is answered in 2-3 places in Bhagavatam. So the answer is always given is that only because of Maya, so only because of Maya, only because of Avidya Shakti of the Lord, the living entity is in touch with the body. Is the relationship of Jiva is there with body and senses only because of Avidya. So it is exactly like a situation of a dream. So in dream, one sees lot of tigers chasing. So, but because of that identification with the dream, he is suffering. But actually, there is no tiger. So similarly, Jiva is superior to the body, but the body is dead matter. But the connection is through the avidya shakti of the Lord, through ignorance and through Maya of the Lord. Otherwise, there is no connection. And because of that connection, because of this Maya, he has accepted so many gunas and he thinks in terms of me and mine. So first of all, he is himself identifying with his body, thinking that he is this body. And with that is called aham concept. And once he identifies with the body, anything related to this body, he thinks that is mama, mine. So in this way, the living entity is suffering in this world, thinking in terms of me and mine, and only through different forms of Maya he is through these different forms he is suffering in this world. So, but how to come out of this conception of Maya? The only way the he can come out of this Maya is that when he becomes attached to the Supreme Lord, who is completely, he is different from Maya. So that time, who is different from even time and Maya also. That time, he gives up both time and Maya, free, becomes free from illusion. That time he becomes detached from this world. So by bhakti, he becomes free from all misconceptions. So how a jiva, living entity, is get in touch with the body is explained always in a connection with a dream concept, and only because of the Vidya Shakti. Otherwise, there is no connection between the jiva and this matter. So this way, this question is answered in Bhagavatam. The next, he will explain about the Brahmaji's tapasya and Brahma Nardam, Brahma and Lord Vishnu's conversation, in which Chatushloki Bhagavatam is revealed. So that we will consider the next time. So this way, now one by one, Sukadeva Goswami starts answering different questions of Parikshit Maharaj, which is answered throughout Srimad Bhagavatam. Stop here.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Chatushloki Bhagavatam will come, where 4 shlokas in a nutshell the Lord explains Bhagavatam. That will be elaborated. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare
Chandra Srimad Bhagavatam.